Welcome to Autonomous Drone, Video 4.
Okay, we're going to continue with the video, and we're going to go ahead and wire up all of our components, starting with the power module back here on the bottom side. What I did was I ran the wire from my power module, the red and the blacks, through this slot here, up through this hole here, and this power module is going to tie in right into where it says PM for the power module. Up next, what we want to do is the telemetry, which is right here. You've got your multicolored wires with the connector, and what we want to do is we want to plug it in right here where it says telemetry. Now make sure you get the connectors going the right way, because you can't actually break them. They can only go one way. Okay. Up next, we want to plug in the compass. Now, this is a 2.8 flight controller. My compass will plug into this port right here, and then my power to the compass will plug in to this port. Now I believe on the 2.5 and 2.6 flight controllers, they have you, I believe, plug it in to where it says 12C. You do not want to do that. So what we want to do is go ahead and plug in our GPS. And plug in the power. Okay, now I want to briefly state something in the video. On the flight controller, you'll have, I believe, 2 jumpers. Okay, these are critical. They must be removed. The jumper that sits right here by the GPS connector must be removed in order to use the external compass. And then I believe you have a jumper back here by the JP1, I believe. That jumper has to be removed because you're going to be using the power module. On your electronic speed controls, you want to plug in motor 1 to motor 1, motor 2 to motor 2, and so on. The very critical thing that you got to do is make sure that you get the signal wire on the signal prong, which the yellow on your wire will be the signal. So what you want to do is put the number 1, see here, number 1, then you want to put the signal on number 1, and then make sure that you have the signal wire on the yellow strip on the connector board. And then you take 2, plug it into 2, and so on. Now I had mine labeled so I can remember which way they go, or what slot they go in. Okay, so you should have all the browns facing out towards the back, all the yellows facing towards the front. Then what you want to do is, if you haven't bound your radio already, and this is the way I've done it, you put, if you look at your receiver, you'll see signal positive and negative. You want to make sure that you have the signal connector on your receiver connected up right. So we want to put the power. I want to state one thing here. I have stripped these other 4 connectors of the brown and red because you don't need them. You don't need the brown and red on 4 of your connectors, because this one connector will supply the power for the whole entire rail. So if you haven't bound your radio yet, I highly suggest you do. So you can plug this into here, into channel 1. Plug this into channel 1. Make sure you have the signal wire on the signal port. And then what you can do is go ahead and bind your radio. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hook up 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, and 5 to 5. In this part of the video, what we want to do is, since we have bound our receiver to our radio, what we want to do is take this jumper apart, because we're going to use this jumper wire to cross channel 6 on the receiver to channel 7 on the flight controller, so we can initiate the auto-tune dance. So basically what we need to do is we need to take either a small jeweler's screwdriver, paper clip, or like a sewing needle, and get up underneath these tabs here. Sometimes it can be pretty finicky here. I try not to break them, and then you just pull it out. Like that. And then you will take your quadcopter, and then you will see channel 6 on your receiver. Okay, you'll connect this to channel 6 on the signal side. You want to make sure you got it on the signal side. Now, after we're done with the auto-tuning dance, we're going to take this off. There will be no need to have that on there. So you want it on the signal side of your receiver. And then what you want to do is go onto your signal side of your flight controller on channel 7. Can't really see here. You want to miss 6 and we'll go to channel 7. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get a flashlight here. And if you plug it in on channel 7 onto the signal, it's very critical that you get this jumper on the signal of the flight controller and the receiver. And then my LEDs, what I did was I soldered some JST connectors to the board and hooked up all my LED lights. And then what you need to do is make a power cord for your FPV, like I've done here. All the reds go to red, blacks to black, which is red is positive, black is negative. And then you hook up your signal wire for your camera and run it to your Bosch Cam transmitter. So that right there pretty much completes the wiring of this quadcopter.